Hi, welcome again to another World Wine Review. We're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be looking at a liqueur from Italy. It is called Luxardo Maraschino Originale Liqueur. It sells for $25.95 at the LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, and their retail outlets. As you can see, it has the I forgot to mention it's from Italy. And as you can see, it is wrapped in the traditional straw wrapping that you usually associate with the cheap Chianti on the red and white checkered table of your local Italian restaurant. This is not the case with this, though. The website states that the wrapping is a sign of the mass consumption and acceptance of this liqueur, and it's won many awards. As you can check and see on the front label, you'll see all the different awards won by this liqueur from the 19th century until today. This liqueur is made by distillation, which is rare for a liqueur, and it's a very good quality, obviously, from all the awards it's won. If you check the back, it gives the recommendations on what this liqueur could be used for, as well as the legal wording of the product itself. As I mentioned earlier, it is one of the few liqueurs in the world produced by distillation. It's obtained from the Maraschino cherry, which is a sour cherry variety exclusively cultivated by Luxardo. The distillation is taken and put into finish ash vats for 2 years to mature. This kind of wood doesn't lend itself for any color or any other feature of the wood itself. It just lets the distillate mature on its own without any interference or imparting of any of its features onto it. After 2 years, the distillate is taken out, diluted, and sugared. I'm going to give you now a brief history of the firm that makes this liqueur. I'm basically taking it from the website. The firm was founded in Zara in 1821, which is a port city on the Dalmatian coast, which is now considered part of Croatia, which used to be Yugoslavia. A citizen from Genova, or could be Genoa, I'm not sure about the spelling on that, Girolamo Luxardo was sent to Zara as consular representative of the Kingdom of Sardinia. He moved there with his family in 1817 with his wife Maria Canavari, who dedicated herself, which was customary at the time, to making liqueurs at home. She was especially interested in perfecting a Rosolio Maraschino, a liqueur produced in Dalmatia since medieval times and often made in convents. The liqueur she produced was of such high quality that it claimed the attention not only of family and friends, but of serious connoisseurs. Her husband, Girolamo, founded a distillery in 1821 to produce maraschino. After 8 years of research and perfecting the product, he obtained an exclusive privilege, quote, from the Emperor of Austria. This was a valuable, cherished acknowledgement of the superior quality of the Luxardo liqueur, and today the firm continues to be proud to bear the same denomination of Privilegiata Fabrica Maraschino Excelsior. In 1913, the third generation Michelangelo Luxardo built an extremely modern distillery, one of the largest in the entire Austro-Hungarian Empire. Even today, people coming into Zara cannot help but notice the imposing structure on the harbor edge, which housed the offices and the living quarters of the Luxardo family. At the end of the First World War, Zara was incorporated into the Kingdom of Italy, as 85% of its population were Italians. The Luxardo Company soon became the most important distillery in the country. The beginning of the Second World War in 1940 severely hampered industrial activity. After indiscriminate and repeated Anglo-American bombings in 1943-44, the distillery was almost completely destroyed, as was the city. At the end of 1944, the German troops occupying it withdrew, and then a second occupation followed by Tito and his communist partisans. The great majority of the surviving Italian population fled into exile. As well as Italy, they went to Australia, Canada, and the U.S., also South America. Many, too, though, were killed, among them Piero Luxardo and Niccolo, with his wife Bianca. They were forcibly drowned by the invaders. It appeared then, after more than a century of activity, the Luxardo firm was destined to disappear. The only brother of the fourth generation to survive was Giorgio Luxardo. He had the courage and vision to rebuild the distillery in the Veneto region, and where the plant currently resides at Torreglia, Padova. Together with the fifth generation Niccolo, a new chapter was opened in the family history. The sixth generation of the family is today active in the company, manufacturing Maraschino, which made their name known worldwide, as well as a full line of classic Italian liqueurs such as Zambuca, Amaretto, Grappa, Limoncello, Passione Nera. A second line includes a gourmet division with liqueur, concentrates for bakers and ice cream manufacturers, fruit, syrups, and a delicious Marasca cherry jam. Okay, let's pour a sample and see what we got here. Just going to pour a little bit because it is very high alcohol. Okay, as we hold it up to the light here, we see that it's very clear, very water-like. I don't know if it shows up on the camera here. There is a little bit of viscosity, so that would indicate that it's a liqueur, because they tend to be that way. Let's take a sniff and see what we got here. Well, you can really smell the alcohol. It literally clears your nostrils. I get a lot of peppermint and a lot of alcohol and just a hint of the maraschino cherries. That's very surprising. But from the smelling of this, you can tell very obviously that this is very high alcohol, and it is at 32%. So let's take a small taste and see what it's like. Well, it really it really is intense. It's very sweet. The sweetness really hits you on the mid to end palate. It has a sweet aftertaste. You do taste maraschino cherry, obviously, but there's just a sugary sweetness about it that that just sort of permeates the whole mouth, and the alcohol is quite strong. In fact, I can feel it clearing my nostrils from the back of my mouth. So it is quite intense. It is quite good, though, and there's an elegance about it that you don't get with the cheaper stuff that I've tried, like the $8 or $9 peach liqueur that I used to have when I was in my teens. But it's quite good, and it's recommended to be put on fruit or ice cream, and it's very good by itself. I don't want to say it's an aperitif by itself, because I don't want to categorize anything, because if you know me, I check into the history of these things and find that a lot of the stuff we assume is to be true is really a fallacy. So let's just say that you can drink it with whatever you want. Obviously be careful, because it is high alcohol, 32%. And if you keep that in mind, it's a very pleasant experience, and I thoroughly recommend it. I'm not going to score it, because this is a liqueur, and I don't have anything to judge it against, but I would recommend it, and get it at some time in the future. Well, that's it. That's it for this edition of World Wine Review. We'll talk to you again next time.